Hey folks, we're going to call this one, What Did the Founding Fathers Actually Mean? Number one. I listened to about a half dozen videos this afternoon. Our founding fathers were Christians. They meant that God gave us these rights, you know. I hate to tell you folks, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but they were Unitarians. Sort of, kind of how I feel. I'm going to read off some information that I looked up this afternoon, and I'll even give you the sources. You can look for yourself. But no, they did not feel that this country was based on a Christian belief. I'm going to read from a subject, and I have checked out all the links and all, and it's verified. The founding fathers were not Christians. This was written in the fall of 1995 by Stephen Morris in the Free Inquiry. I'm sorry. The Christian right is trying to rewrite the history of the United States as part of its campaign to force its religion on others. They try to depict the founding fathers as pious Christians who wanted the United States to be a Christian nation with laws that favored Christians and Christianity. This is patently untrue. The early presidents and patriots were generally deists or Unitarians, believing in some form of impersonal providence, but rejecting the divinity of Jesus and the absurdities of the Old and New Testaments. Give me a second. Okay, here we go. Thomas Paine was a pamphleteer whose manifestos encouraged the faltering spirits of the country and aided materially in winning the War of Independence. Quote, I do not believe in the creed professed by the Jewish Church, by the Roman Church, by the Greek Church, by the Turkish Church, by the Protestant Church, nor by any church that I know of. Each of those churches accused the other of unbelief, and for my own part, I disbelieve them all. And that came from The Age of Reason by Thomas Paine. It was pages 8 and 9, republished 1984, Prometheus Books, Buffalo, New York. We've got George Washington. The first president of the United States never declared himself a Christian accordingly to contemporary reports or in any of his voluminous correspondence. Washington championed the cause of freedom from religious intolerance and compulsion. When John Murray, a Universalist who denied the existence of hell, was invited to become an army chaplain, the other chaplains petitioned Washington for his dismissal. Instead, Washington gave him the appointment. On his deathbed, Washington uttered no words of a religious nature and did not call for a clergyman to be in attendance. That's from George Washington and Religion by Paul F. Waller Jr., pages 16, 87, 88, 108, 113, 121, 127. 1963, Southern Methodist University Press, Dallas, Texas. Got to wet the whistle. A little bit of reading here. John Adams, the country's second president, was drawn to the study of law, but faced pressure from his father to become a clergyman. He wrote that he found among the lawyers noble and gallant achievements, but among the clergy the pretended sanctity of some absolute dunces. Late in life, he wrote, 20 times in the course of my late reading have I been upon the point of breaking out. This would be the best of all possible worlds if there were no religion in it. It was during Adams' administration that the Senate ratified the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, which states in Article 11 that the government of the United States of America is not in any sense founded on the Christian religion. From the Charter of John Adams by Peter Shaw, pages 17, 1976, North Carolina Press, Chapel Hill, North Carolina, quoting a letter by J.A. to Charles Cushing, October 19, 1756, and John Adams, a biography of his own words, edited by James Peabody, page 403, 1973, Newsweek, New York, New York, quoting a letter by A.J. to Jefferson, April 19, 1817, and in reference to the treaty, Thomas Jefferson, Passionate Pilgrim, by Alf Mapp, Jr., page 311, 1991, Madison Books, Landham, Maryland, quoting letter by T.J. to Dr. Benjamin Waterhouse, June 1814. Wow, was that a tongueful? Okay, here we go again. Thomas Jefferson, third president and author of the Declaration of Independence, said, I trust that there is not a young man now living in the United States who will not die Unitarian. He referred to the revelation of St. John as the ravings of a maniac and wrote, the Christian priesthood, finding the doctrines of Christ leveled to every understanding and too plain to need explanation, saw in the mysticisms of Plato materials with which they might build up an artificial system which might, from its indistinctness, admit everlasting controversy, give employment for their order, and introduce it to profit, power, and the preeminence. The doctrines which flowed from the lips of Jesus himself are within the comprehension of a child, but thousands of volumes have not yet explained the Platonisms engrafted on them, and for this obvious reason, that nonsense can never be explained. That is from Thomas Jefferson, An Intimate History by Fawn M. Brodie, page 453, 1974, WW, Norton and Company, Inc., New York, New York. Quoting a letter to T.J. to Alexander Smythe, January 17, 1825, and Thomas Jefferson, Passionate Pilgrimage by Alf Mapp, Jr., pages 246, 1981, Madison Books, Latham, Maryland, quoting letter by T.J. to John Adams, July 5th, 1814. We're getting there. Give me a sec. James Madison, fourth president and father of the Constitution, was not religious in any conventional sense. Religious bondage shackles and debilitates the mind and unfits it for every noble enterprise. During almost 15 centuries Has the legal establishment of Christianity been on trial? What have been its fruits? More or less, in all places, pride and indolence in the clergy, ignorance and servility in laity, in both superstition, bigotry, and persecution. You want any more of my backups, I'll email me which one and I'll send it to you. Or message me, whatever. Okay, Ethan Allen, whose capture of Fort Ticonderoga while commanding the Green Mountain Boys helped inspire Congress and the country to pursue the War of Independence, said that Jesus Christ was not God is evidence from his own words. In the same book, Allen noted that he was generally demonized as a deist, the reality of which I never disputed, being conscious that I am no Christian. When Allen married Fanny Buchanan, he stopped his own wedding ceremony when the judge asked him if he promised to live with Fanny Buchanan agreeably to the laws of God. Allen refused to answer until the judge agreed that the God referred to was the God of nature and the laws of those written in the great book of nature. Benjamin Franklin, delegate to the Continental Congress and the Constitutional Convention, said, as to Jesus of Nazareth, my opinion of whom you particularly desire. I think the system of morals and his religion has received various corrupting changes, and I have, with most of the present dissenters in England, some doubts as to his divinity, though it is a question I do not dogmatize upon, having never studied it, and think it needless to busy myself with it now, when I expect soon an opportunity of knowing the truth with less trouble. He died a month later, and historians consider him, like so many great Americans of his time, to be a deist, not a Christian. Just throwing this at those people who feel that, well, we are based on a Christian belief. No, Unitarian, to bring everybody together. I hear people bitching about, I didn't even notice it until they brought it up, the heart beside YouTube in rainbow colors. Okay, I'm looking at it and I know what it's referring to. I'm going off on another subject on this one. This is going to be a long one, sorry. But, they are human too. Does it not say in the Declaration, well, yeah, in the Declaration of Independence that all men are created equal? Why should just married men and women have benefits that two guys or two gals that want to be committed to each other? What harm is it doing? It might hurt your feelings. Get over it. They're human. All men are created equal. It doesn't come any simpler than that. Folks, undergoing some times right now, and it may be a while. Well, I'm hoping for one more video, but this might be my last message. Anyways, love y'all. Peace out. There's strength in our numbers.